range of the earth. These dark lines are the highest mountains range. And we have tallest mountain here, Everest. And if you see the world's over 8,000 meters highest mountains in the world, there are altogether 14 peaks. And in Nepal, there are 8 peaks which are higher than the 8,000 meters. If you see number of 10, then we have 8 of 10. So, and there are so many number of glaciers, almost 4,000 glaciers, and 1,500 numbers of glacier lakes. And so that we have sometimes problems of the Gulf, it's a glacier lake outburst, and that flood can sweep out the settlements also sometimes. That is due to the climate change. And the highest peak is Mount Everest of the earth. And you can see here the 8th highest peak of the world, which is in Nepal, region from Nepal, and none other than Mount Everest is the highest one. And second highest is in K2 in Pakistan, and then third is Kanchenjunga here, Nepal, 8,500 at 6 meters, and then followed by this one Lhotse, and Lhotse is just in front of the Mount Everest, and it always hides the peak, so that we have to do a lot of hard work to see the peak, actually get the best view of the peak. And other mountains, Makalu and Choyu, Dhaulagiri, and Manaslu and Annapurna, these are the other famous more than 8,000 meters peaks in Nepal. And if you see the peaks over 6,000 meters, we have 326 peaks, which is open for the climbing, and altogether we have 1,310 peaks which are higher than 6,000 meters. And some of them are still not open for the climbers. It's still, they have to wait for climbing. And
how come it's not possible to climb it?
yeah, because some of them are religious peak.
Okay.
They are sacred, and
Okay.
they don't give the permission. Here is one video footage. I hope it will work. Yes, it works. It is the 360-degree. Yeah, this is the very good Pumori top mountain. This is Kalapastar. This is base camp here, and this is Lhotse. And behind Lhotse there is Mount Everest. I was in more than 5,000 meters altitude to make this footage.
So you're saying there are mountains behind these mountains that
Yes,
are higher
yes,
than...
yes, definitely. Almost 3 hours. So this kind of things you can get when you trek in the base camp of the Mount Everest. You will get such type of view. All you will surrounded by the mountain peaks. That's a very, very unique experience. And yeah, okay. And here is the Everest. This is base camp here, and this is the Kalapastar. For getting the best view of the picturesque view of the Mount Everest, people have to go there, and you will get like this. This is the Mount Everest. Here is morning lights, sunrise there, and just behind the peak you can see the full moon. It's very amazing. Actually, the photographer get very good things there. Good mood. So let's talk about the climate and physiographic general pattern of Nepal. Almost it is situated in the center of the Himalayas, like Himalayan range, and like these blue lines we are here. And the northern part is attached with the cold regions. It is the Palearctic pan-zone, and sometimes the Himalayan range also called the third pole due to the Himalayas. North pole is here in Europe, south pole is in Antarctica, and third pole we have. Third pole. And so that it's cold in the northern side. And the southern part is connected with the oriental region, and it's hot and warm. If we go there, this is September, and we can experience almost 35 degree 38 degree in this area temperatures, and here is maybe minus 2, 3 or sometimes 0, like that. These days also. And eastern part is near to the Bay of Bengal, and it's more humid, and a lot of monsoons comes from there. That side it's humid in the eastern part, and the western part is western part is dry. Only the western winds come there, so there are a lot of mix up, and it creates fantastic, the landscape. We have a lot of peaks, slopes there, different aspect there, and climatic variation there, north, south, east, west. So, and we have from lowest point almost 60 meters, start from the 60 meters of the sea level, and it goes up to 1,814 meters. So, longest bioclimatic gradient in the earth. Yeah. So, we have a lot of variations, a lot of things, there are changes there. You can experience the different type of climates within the 2 hours drive. If you start from driving somewhere from here and go there, then you can experience within 2 hours drive, you can experience changes of the climate. From maybe 40 degrees, you can come to the like this climate, subtemperate. So it's very unique. So landscape also divided into physiographic zones, 5 divisions: Tarai, Shivalik, Churia, Middle Mountains, High Mountain, and High Himal. Yeah. If you see from south to the north, you can get everything in your one frame, photographic frame. This is the lowest part, and this forest is broadleaf forest, and you can get here coniferous forest, and Nibal zone here, white peaks there. So it's a lot of things you can cover within a short distance, 150 kilometers range. So bioclimatic zones, you can get tropicals in the lowest part of the country, then subtropical and temperate zones like here. It's from 2,000 to 3,000 meters altitude. We have temperate zone, and it's cold. And above 3,000 meters, subalpine and alpine zone there, it's large, the rangelands are there, grasslands are there, and then 5,000 meters is the snow line, and you can get the snow above the 5,000 meters all over the year, most of the year. So these are the unique features of the country. Yeah, if you take the photograph in the different frame, then you can get like this. So this is the typical lowland. Here is forest, and river is quite calm and stagnant there water. And this is the, there are a lot of rapids and a lot of runs of the river in the middle mountains, and forest, broadleaf forest there. And in the peak, you can see the white peaks just in the conifers and magnificent forest of oak and rhododendrons. So, just if you have walked through there, the travelers experience walking through the magnificent forest of oak and rhododendron beneath the towering white summits, one can understand why someone claimed this to be the most beautiful place on the planet. And if you see the lowland, you can experience the thundering rivers, magical mountain forests, and dense lowland jungles. And it supports fabulous range of biodiversity, including exciting birds and mammals. So it is the home of the large mammals and the small animals and large animals, everything you can see there. So if you see the contribution of the Nepal for the world biodiversity, it gives significant contribution for the world biodiversity, like the algae, fungi, bryophyte, flowering plants. We have 6,300 or 400 species of flowering plant we have there. It's almost 3% of the world's total. And the orchid, 430 species of orchid, more than. It's a wonderful number. And if you see the animals, we have a lot of numbers of animal species there, like butterflies. For example, it's 651 species of butterfly we have, and still there are some exploration has not been done. Still there are coming new. And fish, birds, these all are freshwater fish. Almost 200 species of fishes. Harpytofauna 200 species. Birds 878 or nearly 880 species. of birds are identified from there, and mammals also 200 species. And these things I update during 2005 while I work with Nepal Biodiversity Book, resource book, and then the number is still increasing. If we see the superlative species from Nepalese flora and fauna, here are some of the very special living organisms, like here. First one is the bacteria, which is surviving at the altitude of 8,800 meters. It is the highest records of the living organisms in the earth. And the another one is bird here, beautiful bird. It's bar-headed geese. This is the highest flying creatures of the earth. It's fly over 9,000 meters. It's so difficult. There are very thin layers of oxygen. Yes. Yeah. And this is the biggest stag sheep in the horned sheep in the sheep families now. And this is the highest flowering plants of the earth. It's also from records. And this is the smallest woodpecker. People, it's hit on. And this is the smallest rhododendron. We have 33 species of rhododendrons in Nepal, and almost 6% of the world total. And this is the national flower of Nepal, rhododendron, and it is also largest flowering size of the rhododendrons. And this is highest altitudes recorded butterflies. And here is honeybee. This is the largest honeybee, Apis dorsata, and it's also called mad honey. I'll show the other slide I have. I'll show that. We'll describe it later. And here is the highest cultivated rice, Jungli Marsi. It's grown in 4,000 meters altitude. Typically, rice is the lowland varieties, lowland food, but it's grown in 4,000 meters. And there are very common saying, if the farmers have sown and it migrate to the other place, if he didn't come during the rice growing season, then the family suppose that he's died, because they need special techniques to grow the seedlings, to prepare the seedlings. They carry the seedlings in their beds to sprout the rice seeds, because that 4,000 meters area is alpine zone and it's almost very cold, and rice needs a lot of temperatures to sprouting the seeds. So this especially adapted in the high altitude.
Like a little baby.
Yeah, and here is moth. It's the largest moth, which is also recorded in Nepal. And this is the largest in the cow family, gaur bison. And here is the largest snakes family, rock pythons. And this is the tallest bird, flying birds, Sarus crane. It's you can see just behind there is a pillar. It's Ashoka pillar. King Ashoka, Samrat Ashoka established that pillar. It's a place. There's the birthplace of Lord Buddha. It's Lumini. Maybe this is the same thing we have. It's the birthplace of Lord Buddha. And that bird is living there. And another is the king cobra. Sorry, it is the largest venomous snakes. Snakes family. King cobra also from there. So these are the superlative things, super things in the biodiversity in Nepal. If you see about the birds, a little bit, some slides here. This is the beautiful birds. This is the national birds of Nepal. It's called Himalayan monal, and it's from the pigeon family. We have 9 species of pigeons. From peacock to the red jungle fowl, chief pigeon is a vulnerable species, and other cocklas, setter pigeons. They are beautiful birds. And we have 878 species, and most of them are residential. They breed there. 62% are breeding there, and remaining 14% are winter visitors like dogs, swans, and waders. They visit there. Okay, some of them are passes migrant, and some of them are summer visitors. Summer visitors like cuckoo, and these birds come from west to east. Nepal, they breed there and go back to Afghanistan and Pakistan, like that. And these winter visitors, they breed in the Siberia, Tibet, and they move. Just they fly over the Himalayas and goes to the Nepal through the Indian plains and that area. Okay. And birding areas, we have 10 national park, 3 wildlife reserve, 3 conservation area, 10 UNESCO World Heritage sites there. And if you see the birds, then you can see most of the birds recorded from Chittagong National Park. It's 631 species has been recorded from there. And Bardia and Annapurna Conservation Area, they have also significant numbers of bird species. And even one small national park near the Kathmandu Valley, it's adjacent of the Kathmandu Valley, it has also over 300 species of birds. So there are very good diversity of birds and other plants diversity everywhere. Most of the area, protected areas, either in the northern side or in the southern area, there are very little parks in the middle mountain system. So, yeah, these are the beautiful families. I like these families and very interesting birds. This is ruby-throated white-tails. It's high altitude species. Grandala, these are also high altitudes. I photographed this from Everest area. And this is middle mountain systems. We can see these river birds. Folktail, and this is typically grassland and lowland species. Hudson bushstart. And this is redstart, plums water redstart, and this is beautiful birds is the rufous-bellied nilthaba. This is bush, we can found in the bush. So, and other interesting birds, vultures. We have 9 species of vultures, and some of them are really in trouble nowadays. And I think one IUCN meetings was there, conference was there, and they had a lot of attention for the vultures, because there is very good success stories coming from Nepal. They start the vulture restaurant. Actually, that's not the restaurant; that is feeding center. They offer the hygienic foods for the vultures in that area. And this Egyptian vulture is individually list, and this slender bill vulture, white rump, and red-headed vulture, these are critically endangered. It means their population is 90% crash in between the periods of 10 years. So it's almost their population drastically crashed due to the habitat loss and due to the pesticides, also due to the medicines, diclofenac medicines which use treated for the veterinary medicine in the Indian subcontinent, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and that area. And if they eat that carcass, then its immunogenital systems fail and they kill. And they die.
Why is it they are so much in danger?
Because of the diclofenac. Diclofenac is a medicine, painkiller.
Yeah.
That gives to the cattle, domestic animals. If that cattle die within 1 week and fed by the vultures, then its a kidney fail, and then they die. So these things are legally binded, prohibited nowadays. Okay. So how about outside the protected areas? This is my research, and I'll just jump it from. I did one research outside of protected areas of the birds in the Kathmandu Valley and Palung Valley, and in 4 mountains, here one mountain, here one another, and I found the heterogeneous landscape has significant number of species diversity, even if it is in outside the protected area. And altitude also shows the significant number of diversity. Low altitude has high number of species I found there. I like it. And also we have many numbers of old heritage sites and sacred groves in Nepal, and they are also contributing very good numbers of biodiversity, like Kathmandu Valley. There are 3 old heritage sites we studied, Pashupati, Swayambhu, and Changunarayan, and they offer very good numbers of birds there. This is one of the temples, Swayambhunath. It's also called Monkey Temple in the center of the Kathmandu. Then, if we talk about the large mammals, big herbivores have good numbers and they are very interesting. Like the on-horned rhinoceros, it's found in the lowland national parks and buffer zones. And this is gaur bisons, and this is also found in the lowland protected areas of Nepal, largest in the cow family. And this animal is elk. Everybody know, I think. It's the high altitude cow, and this is the elephant and or water buffalo. We have that things. When these are the largest herbivorous animals and a lot of number of deers and other things. Big cats, we have very good number of big cats nowadays, like the Bengal tiger and common leopard is everywhere. And this is the flagship species of the mountains, snow leopard. We have very good number of snow leopards in Nepal. Very elusive species. Nepal rank as 10th richest flowering plant diversity in Asia and 31st positions in the world. And it is because of the short spans, 100 kilometers ranging. We have a lot of number of the bioclimatic zones and isolation slopes and aspect also give the large number of habitat. So that there is biodiversity, and we have 118 types of ecosystems. Like this here is almost very few number of ecosystems, like grassland ecosystems or maybe some forest ecosystem here. We have 118 types of ecosystems, 75 types of vegetations and 35 types of forest, like the pine forest, broadleaf forest, mixed broadleaf forest. We have 35 type of forest, and it looked like a laboratory as a whole, nature's laboratory, very compact. So here is some flowers. School kids are collecting some rhododendrons, national flower, and this for enjoyments. And these are the poppies, blue poppies. The poppies it's found in the high altitudes, very beautiful. These are all wild flowers, and this pine, cone, and this looks very beautiful. And flowering plant zones, almost we have large numbers of species recorded from here, as the Langtang National Park and Annapurna, and other national park have also a very good number of vegetations, flowering plants, and still the work is not completed, and there are a lot of things to do. Yeah, this is the one of the beautiful flower from the high altitudes, blue poppy. It's found in 3,000 to 5,800 meters altitude in Nepal, from east to west. And some of the crazy Japanese, they visit there just make photograph of this flower. They travel from Japan to Nepal all the way.
So it's very special.
Yeah, very special. And some of the the people they just go there to see only one beautiful bird for a specific area. And yeah, these are the protected area. This is one of the national park, Khaptar National Park. It's almost landscape is similar with Europe. And these are the flowering carpets, all various type of flowers we can see there. This in the national parks, and the rolling hills covered by conifer forest. This beautiful place. And let's talk about people and culture. We have almost 28 millions of peoples, and among them there are 125 ethnic groups, and they speak almost 123 dialects. And one better thing is there is always a religious and social harmony. There is no conflict between those peoples, because there are different cultures, different society, different communities. Everybody has harmony. And if you see the detail of this, the costumes and face, there is very different. Like this, these peoples are Sherpas. They live in high altitude. They are mountaineer. very expert from mountain climbing the mountains. And these are lowland peoples, and people like me here. So we have very unique. Not only the plants and animals have diversity, even peoples have diversity. Yeah, you can see here. This is the living bird, Kumari, and here is Sadhu and little girl is here, and everybody has different face structure, facial structure, and different things. And one pottery making still it is existing in Bhaktapur. There are people doing these things, wooden pots, soil pots, it's called mud pots, art pot, yeah, they are making from the mud soil. Okay, and tourism, let's talk about the tourism, what is going on there. There is something there. Kids are happy to give the photographs. And the important tourist destinations in Nepal are basically some of the cities like Kathmandu, it's a very old city, and it is famous for the temples and gods. There are as many houses as temples and as many peoples as gods. And there are 365 days, and all the days some kind of festivals is carrying on there. Any religious festivals is going on there. So you can get a lot of things in Kathmandu Valley even. And Pokhara is very, very beautiful valley, and it's lakes and mountains. It's very close range, you can see there, and one of the famous destination in Nepal. And Lumbini is the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, Lord Buddha, and very specific peoples visit there. Special peoples like one of the moon. Who was that?
Dalai Lama?
Yeah, he just visited that area, and most of the peoples want to go there. And some of the peoples go to the Jamsum and Upper Mastan, and here is one beautiful valley, Limi Valley. It's also called Mini Tibet, and very specific peoples can want to go there. And Mount Everest areas, trekking areas, and Langtang, Manaslu, and Annapurna. These are also famous for the trekking, and other areas connected by various type of transportation. Let's see here. So we have domestic flight. That's most of them are operated from Kathmandu and connected to the small cities. And the eastern cities, eastern destinations connected from the Biratnagars and Kathmandu, Everest regions. Basically, this look like airport is very busy during the tourist seasons, and there are numerous flights per day, and only the small plane can land there, and most of the trekkers go there, and they have to wait sometimes for 2-3 days for the queue of the small aircraft. And Kanchenjunga area here is Kanchenjunga area, and people love to go there, and Langtang, and Annapurna, and Kanjiroba, and here is Simikut that is connected by the Nepalganj, and western part of Nepal is very beautiful. Even very few tourists visit there. Nowadays, the Dolpa is a very interesting place for the people. It's very specific kind of landscape, and one very famous movie, the Caravan. That is picturized by Eric Valli, directed by Eric Valli. That was picturized from here. And very specific kind of cultures found in the highest, the trans-Himalayan zones across the Himalayas, like the sky burial. Sky burial. The dead body is offered for the bird. They chop in the small pieces and offer for the birds. It's based on that things decided by the lamas of the monastery. And that area is still existing. The polyandry system means one common wife for the 4 brothers or 5 brothers if they have, and that things is influenced by the poverty. other property. So still that culture is existing there. It's very interesting for the people.
So, what is the altitude in Kathmandu?
Kathmandu is 13,000 meters, 1,300 meters.
Okay.
For trekking, let's talk about the trekking. He's my teacher. This Torsten, he's a good friend of Nepal and Tibet. He's Norwegian. And we have like the Everest trekking route. It's everybody can experience the lifetime experience from there. And Annapurna circuits is the best trail in the world, famous trekking route in the world. And nowadays it is limited for 2 weeks because of the motor route. And Langtang is the ancient trade route for Tibet and Nepal. And Dolpo is the Trans-Himalayan zone trek. And here is a very beautiful landscape there. And another is the longest trail in the world. That's the Great Himalayan Trail. That's just opened recently. And I think it's a lot of days, maybe how many days? 3 months for Nepal, I think. Okay. Let's see about the Round Annapurna. It's landscape to Round Annapurna trekking almost start from that area. And it goes this area. And you have to climb up a pass. That's called the Thoranga. It's 5,400 meters in the mountain range, and you will have very unique experience after climbing the things. And you will come to the other valley, Muktinasa, and then all the way to Pokhara. You will come back again. And another is the Everest Base Camp. That's the very famous trekking routes. And one of my friends is here. And this is a very interesting place, and all the backpackers can go there. There is a lot of tea house, and you don't need a lot of field gears and other things for the base camp. And Manaslu trek, there is a little bit disturbance damaged by the last earthquake, but it is recovered, that area. Very unique landscape. Manaslu and Langtang Valley, very beautiful valley. This is close to the Kathmandu Valley. And this is also one 10-day trek, I think, 9-10 days trek you can do that. And Upper Mustang or Low Manthang, you can see the oldest monastery there, and very sacred area, and you need sometimes for the Low Manthang you need special permission. And you can see the sky caves there. And maybe 9th century old monastery you can see there. And Dolfo, highest settlement around 5,000 meters, and one of the highest settlement in the earth. And Limi Valley is the Humla, and you can see also 11th century oldest monastery there, and it is also called Mini Tibet. And in Tibet their culture is a little bit degraded, but in this area is still intact. And there is no influence of the outsiders. Still, these are the village, and this is the entrance of the village. And there is also same type of gate in the outside exit area of the village. And you will get very unique experience from that area. And sometimes you
been
can.
in that area?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
But are they influenced by climate problems in these areas?
Yeah, because they have some problems of the Gulf, the glacial lake outburst. And maybe, I don't know, there is some benefits also. Like they are growing some vegetables, green vegetables, because of the little bit increase of the temperature.
Yeah.
And they get a little bit more days for growing food.
So it's positive for them?
Both. Okay. And in Nepal, everywhere you can do hiking. It's a good 2-3 hours walking, and you will be in the small peak. Then you can see beautiful landscape, and you can do good experience in the hiking, even in Kathmandu Valley. And you can back to your own hotels in the afternoon. And you can get good opportunity for nature photography. A lot of beautiful landscape. You can do photography everywhere. And adventures, you can do a lot of adventures work there, like the paragliding, just in front of the mountain you can paraglide in Pokhara Valley. And yeah, biking, mountain bike, that's very interesting, and you can do biking there. It's good to biking, mountain bike, and a lot of you can do kayaking in the fast running rivers, kayaking, and yeah, bungee jumping, almost 120 meters jump, free fall in the deep gorge with the help of a small rope. You can feel so thrilling experience, and just getting down of the waterfall, maybe 120 meters waterfall, you can come down by the rope. And sometimes you can do, if you like rock climbing, you have a lot of opportunities for rock climbing there. And whitewater rafting, it's very, very interesting nowadays, and a lot of people are going there for water rafting, and it's famous in the world. There are a lot of rapids, you know that this calls rapids, and there are some of the famous rapids in the Nepalese river. These rapids have unique name, like the Elysian Light and God House Rapid. This is 5 grades rapid, and your raft will be just go like this and boom. Sometimes it will look like flying in the rivers. Yeah, and you can get a lot of nice experience when crossing the rapid. I did that one. And so, top 10 best places in the world for whitewater rafting, we have 2-3 rivers. Botikosi, Karnali and Kaligandaka rivers are very good for water rafting, and a lot of crazy people go there. And exclusive mountaineering expeditions for the peak climbers. This is from Mount Everest area, and a lot of people doing these jobs. They need a lot of preparations and big amount of fund for doing the mountaineering, and still people are going there. A lot of people have dream. They like to climb mountains, and they like to climb the 6,000 meters peaks, and they want to climb the 8,000 meters peaks. Everybody have their one, the limitations, and yeah, some people like to see the peak from the base camp at least in their lifetime. Everybody want to go there. And if they have a lot of money, some of have a lot of money, they can do some crazy things. Yeah, Kathmandu, we can the aircraft, beach aircraft offer the mountain flights. It's 45 minutes flights, and you can see a lot of mountain range, including Mount Everest. And you can experience the very close experience from the aircraft. And some of the people who have a lot of money and no times, they especially hire the choppers, and they go to the base camp and have some lunch or birthday celebration or datings or weddings, and they just come back to their star hotels and again come back to the home. Yeah, that thing's also happening there. And some of the crazy businessmen, they also do ski. They go there by choppers in the top of the peak, and they do ski, and they get down and again lift by the pick up by the helicopters and come to the hotels and drink the whiskey and come back to the hotel. That's also doing there. And some of the people's doing hunting, kind of very specific hobby, and hunting is also offering hunting reserves. We have one hunting reserves in Nepal, Dorpatin Hunting Reserve, and that is especially designed for the Naur. This is the largest the stag sheep, and they hunt their game, and they just take the trophy stag with them and enjoy the meat and come back. So it is challenging, breathtaking and unparalleled hunting because of the very rough landscape. They have to find those things. It's open for 1 month or 2 months, and there are very, very expensive bidding for the certain numbers of animals. It's opened by the national park regulated by the national park. Sometimes from the Arabian country, like it's called, I don't know the, they are prince and sometimes other very.
Like the royal shy.
Yes,
What
yes,
you call it.
yeah.
They come.
Yeah, they come there, they visit there and do hunting. And these are not the normal people. Very high-ranking people do that things. And this is actually for us, ecotourism. And there are numerous villages, beautiful villages of Nepal. They are offering some homestay, and we also call it ecotourism. And a lot of nature lovers people go there and live with the peoples, with their home, in their home, beautiful home. And suppose there is a big village, large village, and some 10, 12 houses they offer, community offer homestay. And certain numbers like 10, 15 people go there and accommodate, they offer their own food and homes and accommodation, and they charge very little amount of money. And you can experience beautiful mountains, peoples, and opportunity to experience the real Nepalese life. And Nepalese people are very friendly and they are warm, welcoming peoples. Yeah, you can see here some of the girls enjoying. This is not the typical pot, it's a wooden pot actually, and it's replaced by plastics and metal pots nowadays. Wooden pots is a little bit expensive and very few people make it. And these girls are making, the churning the milk, the separating butter from the milk. And I can also experience this beautiful landscape. Agricultures, these are paddy fields and crops fields, and on a small stream just flowing from there, just in bottom of the mountains. And here is motorable roads. I can see these things from here.
Oh, you have roads.
Yeah. You can go
You're
there
not
for
only
walk.
walking.
And yeah, if you live in the highest village, and you can see this beautiful flower, rhododendrons, all blooming in the April, and all the the hills look like reddish, red in colors. And you can experience the good encounter with the beautiful agricultural landscape and working peoples, and very welcoming, and she's very happy there in that home. Yeah, real Nepalese life. And you can also do the field work, agriculture work, and you can go there for.
Is this rice? Or
Yeah, rice. And yeah, cultivates rice because there is water, irrigation. People like to eat rice in Nepal. Okay, so if you are lucky, sometimes you can get some opportunity to see the honey hunting.
Mad
Mad honey. Yeah, and they fix the local roof in the top of the hill, top of the rock, steep rock, maybe 90-degree rock, hang on there, and they collect the honey. They make fumes, the smokes from the down, and they collect honey. This is actually I borrowed photograph from Eric Valley's documentary, and very good documentary. You can see also in National Geography channel. Honey hunting. It's from Nepal, and still it is in practice. And this is the largest honeybee in the world, and they lives in the high altitudes, and it collects the nectars from the poisonous plant, like the alpine plant. Rhododendrons, some of the rhododendrons are poisonous, and its honey is hallucinogenic effect. If you if you drink a little bit more amount of honey, then sometimes you become unconscious.
That's what we put in your tea.
Don't worry. So it's thick and different taste, and local people use it sometimes for the medicine also. And this is very, very dangerous technique, crazy techniques of the honey hunting. There is no safety. Very few people do
no
this.
harness.
No harness. Sometimes people die very honor.
But can you buy the honey? Is it?
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's not illegal. It's legal honey.
Yeah, it's legal honey. Yeah. And very few people do this. Very certain, the group of peoples do this. Not everybody do this. Like us, very few people. Like we have 123, 25 ethnic group, and 2-3 ethnic group do this. Among them. So these are Gurung. I think it's his Gurung caste Gurung. They live in the temperate zone. Gurung peoples. They are serving with the Gurkhas, the British Army, and there is long history behind this, and very honest and hardworking peoples. And everybody's are honest in Nepal except the city people and trucking people. Most of the peoples are good, and there. And almost we are in the last of the slides. Actually, breathtaking place in Nepal. You won't believe is it real or not. Like one is there in the rocky place, and sometimes it's very, very different from the other worlds. And so in a
What's that rock formation there?
yeah, it's they just pile up the rocks like the Buddhists. They sometimes pile up the rocks. They offer for the gods.
In
the top of the
in
hills.
Canada, the First Nations,
Yeah.
the native people,
Yeah.
they do the same thing.
Yes, in the pass,
Yeah.
basically in the high pass, they offer the rock because of their safety. Because in the pass, sometimes they experience a high altitude sickness, and there is very harsh climate, and they offer just put the rock for their belief. So in a nutshell, Nepal is always interested for nature lover and expedition teams, adventurers and researchers. Almost it's a nature's laboratory, it looks like. And all the biologists, like plant biologists and animal biologists, they like to visit there. Microbiologists, like the bacteria, it's a high altitude bacteria even there. And they want to go there, and in the lower altitude there is other bacteria. And geologists, rocks, and glaciologists, sociologists, they all like to do their research there. Very good for them. And expedition teams like the mountain climbers and adventures, various kind of adventures stop there, and climbers and trekkers. So there are a lot of trekking routes still they have to explore. Everywhere they can go there. And not the last, not the least, that's religious groups like Buddhist monks, and there are 5 religions or 6 religions. They started from Nepal, like the Bon or Buddhist, have also different branches. They like to visit there in different areas. And Hindus, basically Hindus, a lot of people up to India, they are Hindus. And they love to visit Nepal because there is a famous Pashupatinath temple, and there is a highest the temple that's called Muktinath, head of the Lord Pashupatinaths, and they love to go there. And many people want to go to Kailas and Mansarovar. It's on the way to Nepal. They fly from Nepal, it's the lowest altitude, and Simikot is there is only small airports, and from Simikot they go by choppers to the Tibet and the Tibetan borders of Nepal, and after crossing the Nepal border they got the blacktop road to the Tibet and visit to Kailas and Mansarovar, and again get back to Nepal. So it is always interesting place for those people. So thank you very much.